It is the best title we've ever put together. It really captures what this is all about. It is about Bernard Hopkins continuing to make believers out of people who are not yet, like these two guys to my left here. So, which is okay.
It really is a pleasure to ask my good friend Gary Shaw to come up to the podium again and introduce Team Dawson.
Thank you, Richard. First, I want to introduce Chad's son, Prince Chadwick, who stand up, Prince, who I recently signed, and Herman Woodard, our attorney and advisor. Thank you for being here. Andrea, a couple of words to you. First of all, the 1800s was a long time. I mean this respectfully. There's never a chump in boxing. Any boxer who gets in the ring is a champion. Just one leaves with the belt and the title, the other does not. Now, a suggestion to you, so Ripley's, believe it or not, can stay in business. I will have matches for you at the end of the fight, so you could melt the wax of Bernard Hopkins. And to Tim Lewicki, we're expecting a statue right next to Oscar of Chad. Ours will be in bronze, never to be melted. Again, it's hot here. I know Bernard needs about 2 hours to talk. We need to get out of here because we have to catch a flight for a press conference for tomorrow in New York in front of Ripley's, believe it or not. So, Bernard, I want to leave you with these words. Not. Will never happen. You're a good-looking guy. You look about 26, but your reign is over on October 15th, and I know that you will be a gentleman when they put the WBC belt around Chad Dawson once again. I thank you for taking the fight. Nazim, thank you. You're a hell of a trainer. Richard, you're a good partner. You're going to not do very well on October 15th. We're going to have a jacket made. Whoever wins the most fights, Gary Shaw Productions or Golden Boy, will leave with the jacket. It'll be a little green, not WBC green or the Masters, but
it will be a golden jacket.
It'll be a golden jacket filled with money from Oscar to me and Richard to me. So I thank you. I'd like to bring up my fighter, who I really believe is the great 175-pound champion. He will be the champion on October 15th. My good friend, my fighter, and I believe a future Hall of Famer behind Bernard Hopkins, who's definitely going into the Hall of Fame, and that's Bad Chad Dawson.
How's everybody doing out there today? I don't have too much to say. You know, I'm just excited to be here. I still pinch myself every day when I wake up. I can't believe this fight's really about to happen. I mean, everybody who knows me know I've been chasing Bernard for about 3 years now. I always wanted this fight. And it was funny when I lost to Pascal, which was one of my worst nights in boxing. 2 days later, I think, Bernard called out Pascal and said he wanted the Pascal fight. I mean, I was hurt because, you know, that was the fight I wanted for so long. And he got the fight. It was a great fight. The first fight was a good fight. I thought Bernard won the first fight. The second fight, Bernard dominated him. But, you know, like I said, on that night, that wasn't Chad Dawson. I'm a different person. No more. I'm problem free. I'm stress free. My life is great. I just had a new baby boy on Monday morning. My son Prince is here. I got four little boys at home to take care of. So I mean, to me, this is all or nothing. You know. So I'm going into this like, you know, it's the end of my career, end of my life. So I mean, this side of the table, the believers, you know, they can believe all you want, but believing is believing what you can do. But on October 15th, you have to get in the ring. You have to show everybody what you can really do. And on the 15th, I'm going to get in the ring, and I'm really going to show everybody I'm better than Bernard Hopkins. I'm one of the best fighters in the world. And you know, and as far as this fight goes, and the build-up and anticipation, you know, it's great. You know, some people say they don't think it's pay-per-view, meant for pay-per-view. It's not made for pay-per-view, but on October 15th, it's going to be my night. And, you know, can't nobody take that away from me. Bernard, nobody. At this side of the table, I'm not worried about that side of the table. I'm worried about what I'm going to do to get ready for this fight. I'm worried about the 15th when they put the belts around my waist. I'm thinking about what I'm going to say to the world. Everybody who doubted me, who put me down when I lost to Pascal, everybody who said I wasn't a big puncher, everybody who said I was a boring fighter, everybody. I'm bringing all of that into the ring on October 15th. Believe me. Thank you.
One last thing I forgot, because Bernard, you've always stepped up your game every fight and every year of your career. And I was at your fight with Pascal when you did the push-ups in the ring. And I got to tell you, I was really impressed. So the fact that you're going to step it up against Chad, I assume you'll do the push-ups and at least 10 to 20 jumping jacks in between each round. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Time now to introduce to you Team Hopkins. His longtime trainer, who has been with him in most of his big victories, been with him forever, is Nassim Richardson. He's one of the most accomplished trainers. It's a pleasure for me to introduce to you Brother Nassim.
Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out in this heat and supporting this great promotion. It's a pleasure to be here. And, you know, it's really an honor to work with an athlete of the magnitude of Bernard, because he's not just a great fighter. He hasn't just been a great champion. But those of you who've known him for years realize he's been one of the outstanding personalities in boxing as we've been searching for someone to lead the ring. And these young guys like Chad Dawson, I've known Chad since he was a kid. He's a special kid. I knew it way back then. When he's a young man, I took him to tournaments. He's outstanding, always been an outstanding fighter. I know him since his baby, his brothers and everything. So I take nothing away from him in that sense, that I have nothing but respect for him. But when you speak of Bernard Hopkins, you can only speak of the utmost respect because of what this gladiator has done for so long and so consistent. Some athletes are outstanding in the ring, but they fall short outside of the ring. Some people have their problems amongst the social network. You've never seen any bad write-ups about Bernard Hopkins. You've never heard anything negative about him in the press. This guy has been one of the great characters in our sport, and a sport that needs that right now. And he is still going on being one of the pioneers, so we appreciate him. His team around him has always supported him, as we always will. Kelly Swanson, well, I think Kelly will put the gloves on and go in there herself if she have to. She's willing to fight Bernard, as we all stand for him and support him in the sense. Richard Schaefer and the Golden Boy Promotions, when people thought it was going to fall, they're still standing tall. You know what I mean? And like I said, and if there's a statue that has to go anywhere, Philadelphia, anywhere else, we have to recognize Bernard Hopkins. For those of you who remember old timers talking about Ray Robinson, and when they saw Ray Robinson, and when you hear them speak of the magistrate, when they talk about Ray Robinson, this is the time you're living in now with Bernard Hopkins. Don't overlook it, and then later on, when your kids and your grandkids are asking you about this man, you know, you're going to be able to say, I saw him, I was there. That's why I please ask everybody, come out and see him in person. Because like I said, like the great Ray Robinson, this is our Ray Robinson of our era right now, any way you want to look at it. Bernard Hopkins is the greatest athlete of the last couple of years. A lot of guys do it well for a minute. Very few can do it as long and consistent as he's done it. And I will tell you this much. The only reason I wasn't able to jump up there and put my foot in his behind when he was doing push-ups, because I was moving up the steps a little too slow. Because so regardless of what Gary says, he know I hooted and hollered. I don't want to, my guys got no business doing push-ups in the middle of the ring. And I find that any young athlete that wants to try to emulate anything of that nature, give us 20 title defenses first. Then we have no problem with you doing push-ups. But anybody else, put the work in that this man has put in. We can't have nothing but respect for him. I appreciate you for your time and your patience. Thank you.
Welcome home, Bernard. In 2005, he fought here at Staples Center and made history. It was actually the first fight under the Golden Boy banner when Bernard became a partner at Golden Boy, and that was his legendary 20th middleweight world championship defense against Howard Eastman. Almost 14,000 people came out to cheer him on here. So this is your home, Bernard Hopkins, and it's good to have you back in Los Angeles. I said it before, I don't have to go through it again. We all know what he has accomplished. He really is one of the greatest athletes of our time. To be able to look at his resume and see what he has done over the last 20 or so years is absolutely amazing. And for me, every time when I stand on the podium and I have the pleasure and the honor to introduce this legend, it really gives me the chills, because we appreciate what you do, Bernard. We appreciate it, and we will appreciate it again on October the 15th. Please, all of you, welcome the legendary, the executioner, Bernard Hopkins.
First, it's good to be back in LA. I'm normally here 3 times a year, but it's good to be back here as a main event fighter at this stage of my long, great career. To be able to come on the West Coast and also feel the love that I have here is unbelievable, because people respect boxing, they respect heart too, and they respect skill. And to come here to be able to display that on the other side of the tracks is very, very respectful for me. So thanks to fans, all the fans back there, everybody. I heard a couple of things that Chad Dawson said, but I also heard a couple of things that he said in the past, and Gary Shaw about not fighting, or they wanted to fight. Whether that's true or not, it's too hot to debate it out here, believe it or not. But this couldn't have been a better time than even 3 years ago. Think about it. He should and he will make more money than he would have made 3 years ago, because I brought excitement back to the division. Ever since my split decision stick-up with Joe Gazaki, the light heavyweight division basically stalled. I mean, let's be honest. When Pascal called me out, because Chad said I called him out, if anybody remember that fight, Pascal said I want Bernard Hopkins. Now, I don't mind being grandpa, because I was home in my rocking chair, teeth in a glass, minding my business. And I accept the challenge.